Hey everyone, I'm Dierdre Rae and welcome to A Day in My Life. Not just as somebody who has OCD, but as somebody who has conquered it. A little backstory, at 19 I was hospitalized because my OCD was so out of control. I had spent my entire life battling it without knowing what was even wrong. But everything changed when I finally got the proper treatment, which is exposure and response prevention therapy. I had to literally relearn how to do everything, like blinking, talking, walking, breathing. Basically, I had to learn how to live my life without any compulsions. Fast forward to today to where I'm living with barely any symptoms at all, and it's all thanks to exposure and response prevention therapy, which is offered by NOCD. It is the gold standard for OCD treatment. So if you're wondering what life can look like on the other side of OCD, let's dive in. The next thing we're conquering is dating with OCD. Good morning. I'm going on a second date today. I'd never really go on those, but I'm trying to push myself. I'd say dating's the only thing that my OCD really affects right now, which is why I'm like trying to actively go on dates. I have actually quite a few dates lined up. To be honest, this guy, they do have like a little bit of an emotional contamination thing. I have a really hard time deciphering, like, do I really not like them, or is it my OCD telling me I don't like them? On the walks used to be such a thing because I couldn't step on anything like this, right? So I would have to always watch exactly where I walked. If I stepped on like a crack, mine wasn't like, oh, something bad will happen. It means that I also have to step on this foot with the crack to make it even. So like that, where now I can just like walk and I'm fine. But even just talking about it and like noticing it, now this foot feels off. This foot I feel like has a line through it, like where the crack was. And this one doesn't. So now I'm just kind of able to step on anything that's misshapen on the road and not avoid anything because I don't think that it's going to give me like bad luck or ruin my day, or I'm going to have to cancel it out. Now I can just kind of walk normally. I'm going to walk every single morning because it's just so important for me, just for my mental health and to clear my head, and then also for my ADHD and like my jitteriness. If I had one suggestion for anybody who was struggling with any sort of mental illness, it would be to walk first thing in the morning, even if it's just for 5 minutes. It helps so much. It really, really does. It's also a really good way for me to practice thinking and being alone with my thoughts. It's not something I was able to do a few years ago because I would just keep getting bombarded with like scary, intrusive thoughts. Now, on this side of the road was like technically emotionally contaminated because I saw something up there that made me like a little weird. Basically, I was about to cross over, and it's just habit that I walk on that side, and I was about to cross over and I remembered I was reading this video and I was like, this is a perfect chance to do an exposure. So here I am. This is really okay. It's like uncomfortable. Yeah, but I'm fine. Literally 2 seconds later, it's like I'm chilling. Like, because I've done exposure so many times now that I have anxiety the first few seconds or minutes, and then it just completely dissipates. I don't think I'll be able to film because it's a really crowded gym, but gonna get a workout in. Gym session done. Ready for my breakfast. My breakfast, almost every single morning, I am a creature of habit. It's not an OCD thing. Bagel, cream cheese, egg with feta and honey. So good. I'm freshening up for my date. So my OCD actually contributed to me having 3 different types of eating disorders and disordered eating patterns, which I had no idea that OCD could affect those things until after I got diagnosed. I used to struggle severely with binge eating, where I'd compulsively avoid and restrict certain foods and food groups, and then I would also compulsively over-exercise for hours. Like if I missed a workout, I would be in a full-on panic state, like in a spiral. It also contributed with like some body dysmorphia stuff. Not very fun. But my exposure for that was basically purposely making myself go out of routine and forcing myself to take rest days. I am now so much more flexible than I was. I wouldn't classify myself as easygoing, but I truly can go with the flow now with very little anxiety and basically no panic because of all the tools that OCD therapy has given me. The thing I've found with OCD therapy is it doesn't have to be perfect. You just truly have to start, and you have to try, and you have to keep trying. But anyway, I will talk to you after this date. Just got back from my date. I obviously did not wear this. Really nice guy. This is where my OCD comes into play. He's just emotionally contaminated. But I have liked guys before where they have fully triggered me. And I'm like, you know what? No, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter because I like them so much. And I'll like literally cancel it out. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. One person that I liked last year, he said multiple things that I just was like, oh, that hurt my OCD in the heart, kind of thing. But I just liked him so much that I was like, I'm not letting my OCD ruin this for me. It still did in the end because of all of the uncertainty. But yeah, for relationship stuff, I find that I either jump the gun or I cut it too early. And with that guy, I did both. I jumped the gun, then I immediately cut it after that because there was just so much uncertainty with it that it really, really made my OCD bad in the end. Anyway, these guys that I'm going on dates with are so nice, and they really, really are. They're such gentlemen, and besides the one that let the door slam on me, even he was really nice. I used to think that I had a really hard time connecting with people, and I actually don't. And I would tell guys that to their face. I'd be like, listen, just so you know, like, I have a really hard time connecting with people. That's called a defense mechanism. But it turns out I realized literally like in December, I don't have a hard time connecting with people. My main issue is I think that my body like protects me from guys that aren't right. Even my ex, I never connected with my ex, but it was because he was horrifically emotionally abusive, and it was a really toxic situation. He would get really aggressive as well in certain situations. So it makes sense why I didn't connect with him in that way. I'm seeing these guys that are seemingly good, but it's hard to trust my gut sometimes because my gut gets confused with my OCD. That's kind of just what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to stick with good men who are sure about me. Like, I'm talking to so many guys. I'm just going on a bunch of dates and just seeing what I like and what I don't like. If somebody really, really, really stands out, then I'll, I guess, continue seeing them. It's tough, man. It's tough out here. Thank God I like being single. Oh my God. Can you imagine, like, if I was sad? Like, I'm not sad. I just want to say, like, I'm very happy being single. Like, I love my life. To be honest, sometimes I stress out thinking about getting into a relationship. It's something that I want, of course, like, absolutely. But I just want it with somebody who's like my best friend, you know? Like, I just don't, other than that, I don't know, I'm pretty happy out. So it's great because I can be picky and I can figure out if I like somebody because I actually like them and if I don't like them because of my OCD. I find it all exciting and fun for the most part. And then it's like when I actually like someone, that's when it gets not as fun, to be honest, but that only happens once a year. So I'm about to order out and just completely relax for the rest of the night. But I just wanted to say, if you're somebody who's struggling with OCD right now, like, it can get so much better. Like, I was in a hospital a few years ago contemplating whether or not to be here, and what saved my life was explosion response prevention therapy. People don't realize how detrimental OCD can be. Like, I had to learn how to breathe, how to blink, how to talk, how to walk, because every single aspect of my life had some sort of OCD attached to it. And now I'm able to not only be lucky enough to date and to make friends and to work and have my own business, but like, I'm able to truly be happy because my absolute worst day with OCD now does not even come close to my best day a few years ago. And I mean that with like my entire heart. And it's all because of explosion response prevention therapy, which is the exact therapy that NOCD does. And you can go to NOCD.com and you can literally book a call with them that's free to discuss like the options that you can get and everything like that. It's the best thing that you'll ever do. It's ranked top 10 most debilitating disorders in the entire world, mental or physical. It's completely stereotyped and it's incorrect. The stereotype is completely incorrect. The best way I can describe it is that, like, you truly feel like you have absolutely no free will. I'm so happy to say that I have complete free will. Like, even if I am stressed and I have an OCD symptom, like, my fear and anxiety dissipates within minutes, within seconds, doing most of my exposures. Now, it's one of the best things that's ever happened to me. It is the best thing that's ever happened to me, is exposure response prevention therapy, because it's allowed me to, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, OCD therapy, it didn't give me my life back. It gave me a life. And so if I were you and you have OCD, or you know somebody who has OCD, please go to NOCD.com and just give that gift to yourself.